So after almost 2 weeks of bad weather, foggy, wet and miserable weather, it was time to get out in the forest again. And the forecast was sunny and relatively mild. It was about 5 degrees Celsius. We thought we'll use this short window before the cold and the snow sets in to get a trip out and to make some lovely dinner. But when we get there, already you can feel that it is quite windy. But we were still gonna make dinner and enjoy ourselves. I had planned a quite nice dinner with a lot of ingredients, and I needed to have multiple cooking alternatives, and I also was gonna boil some potatoes, so I brought the Trangia 25 and the Trangia 27, and I also brought a Firebox Nano in which I had a Trangia spirit burner. And of course Milo was there to keep us company. It's always nice to have him around. And this was my first time trying out the new Trangia Storm gas burner. So I was quite interested in seeing how that performs, because as I will show later, I also have another gas burner, but without the preheating tube that the Storm has. But the other one is from Fire Maple, and it does a great job, but it doesn't work as well when it gets to be cold. So I'm setting up the different parts that I am gonna need, and this is the first burn of the Trangia Storm burner. You can see it there in the wool felt pouch. And before I'll start cooking, I just wanted to test it out and see if everything was okay with this example that I had, because I have never actually fired it up before now. So it's time for very first burn on the gas burner, and I'm using a little bit of a piezo igniter that I bought. It just makes a little spark and it lights up right away. And you can hear the wind is starting to pick up, which is going to be, if not a problem, at least a challenge when I'm going to make the food later on. So all the ingredients for today's meal. We brought along some potatoes, some pork, mushrooms, an onion, garlic, chili, and yeah, I think that's it. So I'll just start preparing the meal by cutting up the ingredients. And the knife I'm using today to do the food prep is the Spyderco Bow River, designed by Phil Wilson, and it's an excellent knife for this purpose. It's quite small, it's got a thin blade, and its blade shape lends itself well to doing this kind of work. The mushrooms and the onion and the garlic and the chili is gonna be in the sauce, so I'm chopping them up quite finely into small pieces that I'm gonna mix later on with after I've fried them. I'm gonna mix them with some cream and let that boil down to a nice sauce that goes with the meat and the potatoes. when I'm out cooking like this, I rarely use the frying pan that comes with the Trangia systems. I have two frying pans, one small and one large. This is the large one you see here, and they are the GSI Pinnacle frying pans. They are the best that I have found so far. They have a bit of a heft to them, but they are very good pans. And here I also was going to boil the potatoes, and I found that the pot I was using first didn't really fit very well on the smaller Trangia 27. So I changed to the one of the pots that goes with the 27. And in the Trangia 27 I do have the fire maple gas burner, and since that gas burner don't have the preheating tube, I cannot invert the gas canister, because then it will just flame up. So that is already in these conditions with about 5 degrees Celsius. That is a bit of a problem, where I have to sometimes use my hands to warm the canister. The table I'm sitting at is not quite level, so I just use a small twig to level the Trangia. So I'm setting up the Firebox Nano with the spirit burner, so that everything is ready before I light up the Trangia stove. And as luck would have it, the wind really starts to pick up. Firebox Nano is a really great little stove for using with the Trangia burner or the spirit burner. However, the holes on the side are just a little bit too small to get the adjustment screw for the new Trangia Storm burner in. So I'll check what I will do. Maybe I'll just enlarge the holes a little bit, so that I can use the Storm burner with it, because it is a rather versatile little stove to keep in the backpack. So it's time for the real test of the new burner. As you will see soon, I will be kind of adjusting the flame with just turning the canister upside down when I need a little bit more oomph, and then turning it back when I just wanted to burn a little bit quieter. And the wind is really picking up, so I decided to set up the windshield. And this one is a new one that I bought, and it's quite a big one, so it can go all the way around to Trangia's kitchens if you wanted to. And I will be using it that way a little bit later, just to block out the wind from the other stove too. Everything is coming together nicely, but it is getting to be rather chilly, so I need to warm up the canister for the boiling potatoes from time to time, and my hands are also starting to get rather cold. So I decided to move the Trangia 27 a bit closer so the canister can get some warmth from the other Trangia, and that way just heating it up slightly. So I put all the onions and the mushrooms into the smaller GSI Pinnacle frying pan, and I add some cream, and I let that simmer while I fry up the meat. And I am making dinner for 2 people, so I'm not going to eat all this on my own. It's just that the other person didn't want to be on camera, so that's why you see only me making the dinner. And the wind is starting to get so strong that I decide to try to gather everything a little bit closer together to keep it out of the wind. just to keep things going, because the wind was so severe that I had problems keeping the heat high enough on especially the small frying pan with the spirit burner in it. So here you can see my windscreen. It's rather large, so it can go around this whole area. But despite all the wind, everything comes together nicely in the end, and the meal is ready to be served. So it's just a matter of letting it simmer for a little bit longer, and then it's time to serve dinner. By this time it was starting to get rather chilly, so all we did was serve dinner and enjoyed that. It was a very good dinner, and while we ate we had a glorious view from the table. So thank you very much for watching, and please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, goodbye.